Welcome to the 254th episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording on October 13th, 2021. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the man who's staring right at me uncomfortably, Carlos Rodella.
Oh no, we're partially on video and it's freaking us both out.
It's making me very uneasy right now, sir.
Don't be uneasy, it's just me.
But you brought it up, and now I feel even more uneasy because we're talking about it.
Wait, let's just talk about the word uneasy.
That's a very strange word.
How uneasy is the word uneasy?
It's very uneasy. That's why it's that word.
If you say a word enough times, it doesn't even sound like a word anymore. Like uneasy, uneasy. That's weird sounding now.
Yeah, they do kind of like melt in your brain if you say them more than a couple times in a row.
Hey, I have something really interesting for housekeeping.
Okay.
Wait, this is not how we start housekeeping.
This is totally not how we start housekeeping. I was waiting for you to say what you had for housekeeping, and then we would start housekeeping, and then you would say it.
Right. Video's thrown us off already.
Yeah, this is weird. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, folks. I guess by seeing this video, you are now keyed into the secret that we don't actually live in the same house, and that we don't separate our living room with duct tape. You had this peep behind the curtain, and now there's no coming back. Genie's out of the bottle. But we will continue with the pretense just for the purposes of this show. I have stuff on my side. Do I? No, I don't. I have nothing on my side. Carlos, what is on your side for housekeeping this week?
Well, something very interesting and actually perfect for video is that I went to Bellevue recently and was walking around there doing a freelance video shoot and noticed there was a Barnes & Noble's. So I bought myself a video game magazine.
Wow. Are there still game magazines in print these days?
Yes. Now, Edge is some places. That's the magazine in the UK that we get imported over here. I've seen that before. We see, a lot of those kind of best of Fortnite tricks books or whatever.
Like tip guides or something. I don't really count those, I
don't count those either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But every once in a while you'll get like a PC Gamer, which is what I'm showing on the camera right now for our audio listeners. And I always like this one because, I have a little bit more souped up a PC now. You don't like the PC, I know that.
Yeah,
But
you know me.
Yeah, I know you. But I can actually play a bunch of games now. My processor is not that bad. So it's fun to go through, and it just brings me back to my childhood of I miss magazines. I really still like them. Don't you? Like, if you ever find one?
I mean, I haven't seen one in print for quite a while. The most recent one that I got was Game Informer.
Yeah.
That's the one that's run by GameStop, but I stopped going to GameStop. Stopped going to GameStop. And I stopped getting the magazine. And to be perfectly honest with you, man, like I used to be like Mr. Game magazine. I used to go to the store, pick up whatever's on the rack. I subscribed to like literally everyone that was possible to subscribe to. I still have them all. I have like boxes and boxes of like, I guess, vintage magazines now.
Yeah.
So I still have them. But I mean, towards the end, like the last couple years, or probably even longer than that now, dating myself. But I kind of stopped reading them because once I was on Twitter and once I was like, getting emails from people in a PR sense, like by the time I read a magazine, like the news was so old.
Yeah.
It didn't really, mean a lot to me. And I would sometimes read some of the articles. Every once in a while, there'd be a cool article like, oh, behind the scenes with so-and-so, or here's a look at the development of something, something. Those were okay. But like, I kind of just fell off them before they died, honestly.
Yeah, I always liked them for what you just said, like because I would get a meal and like sit down with a meal somewhere, like say I was out and about in the olden days when you went out and about more often.
I don't even know what you're saying.
And I went to the mall as a kid and I would get the video game magazine. I would eat my Taco Bell and I'd read through the newest video games that are coming out. And like you said, it was a moment in time, right? Like
Totally.
Any tweet or anything online can tell us what we probably is old news in the game magazine. But that being said, even now, even to this day, I like that kind of pairing together of like something in my hand that's tangible while I'm sitting down eating. Like I just like that concept of like, investigating a little article. And like you said, there's like behind the scenes at a studio or something. So I like that concept and I still enjoy it to this day. So
I mean, I enjoy it too. It's funny because if I had the choice, I mean, I do like to have like hold on to a magazine or a book or something. Like for example, we've been recently talking about how I've been getting back into He-Man figures as a way of coping with like the sucking depression and anxiety deep within my soul right now, and it works great, by the way. But I got some, there's any number of sites you could go to online where it's like, oh, if you want to check out a complete checklist of the He-Man figures, there's like 10 different websites you can go to with like super detailed HD photos and you can check it out. But it's like I bought a book instead because I just liked holding it and like turning the pages and kind of looking at it.
Right.
So I think there's definitely something to the physical aspect of it. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, the tangible part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of a follow up to that Barnes and Noble story. When I went there, though, there was, like you said, very few video game magazines, and I thought it's weird because they are the one last bastion of like where you can go buy a magazine.
Oh yeah.
And they had a whole section dedicated to puzzle magazines, like Crosswords Are Us and
Sure.
whatever Sudoku. But there were so many, and there was like 2 video game magazines, and I was like, which one of these businesses are doing better right now? I think it's games. So
I mean, for sure, but like, look at what the need is, though, right? Everybody's playing games is connected online, just like we are, and people who are doing Sudoku. I mean, everybody plays Sudoku. I don't want to like stereotype or anything, but like, people need to take something on a plane. They want something on a bus. They want something to do when they're bored at work, and that can only, I mean, I guess you can do it on your phone or whatever, but I can see the
yeah.
appeal of just like whipping out a little Sudoku book or crossword or something.
I'm gonna like go down in flames with the idea of a magazine and want it forever, and I still can't understand the concept why. We still don't have more of them. But anyways, I digress. And anytime I can find a video game magazine, I'm gonna buy it. So that's what I got to say about that.
There you go. There you go. What else you got on your side?
I have a few more things on my side of the video
Your virtual
screen.
side. Yes, I know.
By the way, we do have a house. Let's not ruin the mystique. It's just not on the video today.
Sure. Let's say that.
Let's say that because it's
Yes,
true.
and that's
Thank
what we're
you.
doing.
Thank
Yes.
you. Normally,
I am
Brett-
in a house. I mean, that's true. I definitely live in a structure. I'm not out on the street podcasting on a corner or anything, so that's
Let's
true.
just say we have a third house. It is still the house of the housekeeping.
Sure. Okay.
The other thing I was going to say is I saw this trending on Twitter. It's, some of these don't make any sense to me, but it's just like the gamer / their favorite game. And that's just trending for some reason. And then when I thought about it for a second, I was like, wait, what is my favorite game? Like, I don't think we've talked about that on the show too much. We've said like favorite genres, favorite games in a genre. But like literally if you had to pick one, I don't know what I'd pick.
That's very tough because, I mean, everybody is a different kind of gamer, and so everybody likes different things from their games. I mean, I'm definitely more of a goals-oriented gamer where I like to be on a journey. I like to have a beginning, middle, and an end. And when I finish a game, I mean, I love rolling credits. When I finish a game, it's really rare that I come back to anything. Very, very rare. So
Right,
it would
but I
be
don't
tough
think you
for me
have
to
to go
pick just
back.
one.
Yeah, I don't think you have to go back to the game to say that's your favorite. Is that
I
what you
mean,
mean?
maybe because I think to me, in my mind, something that is a favorite is maybe that's not correct. Maybe I'm even starting on the wrong premise, but something that I wouldn't mind playing again, or something that I would want to revisit. I mean, something to me that would be just like really stand the test of time. Because I have lots of games that I love, go through them once, and then I move on. But like, what really defines a favorite? Then I mean, it's tough to say.
Well,
What's your answer?
Yeah, I would say it's something like that you had the best experience with going through it. It's almost like a favorite movie or favorite book.
That's true. Okay.
You know? So, like, I put a couple down just, like, thinking about it. Like, I think we both love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And,
I do.
And we spent so much time in that world, So that's another kind of, like, I think, asterisk. Like, which is your favorite game because you spent the most time in it? That's another, attribute. And, like, obviously I always say Earthbound, but that was, like, of the era. And so, I've played better experiences since then. And then I think about Fallout and Skyrim, which I've loved those worlds a lot, but I don't know if I have like one that I just can point to.
It's really tough because I like different things about different games, right? I mean, the Mass Effect trilogy, that's probably always going to be the top for me because I had such a great time going all the way through it. I have not replayed it. I don't think I probably ever will, but I still like it. Witcher 3, I loved going through that. I mean, that's got to be, that's definitely like in my top 3 of all time. Just Geralt is a great character. The supporting cast is great. I love Yennefer and Triss and all those people. And, going through that whole adventure. I mean, I think not necessarily that the hour count is what defines it, but I think I probably played that game for like pretty close to 200 hours, which was
so
pretty
did
good.
I. Yeah, because we all did all the DLC. Me and you both did every bit of DLC.
I
Yeah.
mean, Helldivers for sure. I love that game, like just
You love
forever
your
and ever. I love
Helldivers.
Helldivers, and honestly, it's got to be Marvel Puzzle Quest. That's got to be at the top for me,
That's
even though it seems like a
true.
rando choice. But like, I've played that game more than any other game in my entire life, dude.
That's
I've played
true.
that game for like 7.5 years, and I don't even
Jeez.
know how many hours I've put into it. And please don't ask me how much I've spent on it. So that's, I mean, if
Oh.
you're going by those metrics, that's number one by a mile.
Yeah. Well, by the way, in that same vein, like Skyrim, I like lived in Skyrim for years and years and years, and then when it remastered and came back out, I went back in, and it's like I didn't think I'd go back in, but I did. So I would say Skyrim's up there for me, and also like you said, Witcher 3, I spent 200 plus hours in that game, and then I just thought of GTA, of course, because GTA 5, I know you didn't play it, but like I did live in that world for a long time, and that's why so many people do still live in the GTA Online world because
Right,
it's
right.
it's a good world that they created. So. Anyways, that's why I bring it up. It's interesting, and that's it. So
Well,
we kind of answered it.
we kind of answered it, but just to play off that, just really quickly, tangent. Speaking of GTA, we watched Free Guy a couple days ago. After
Oh,
you said
good.
that it was good, we took your advice and rented it. I mean, that game is. I mean, granted, I have not spent more than 5 seconds watching videos of GTA Online, but like as I was watching it, I'm like, oh, this has got to be GTA Online is what they're talking about, like the
Right.
basis of like the whole world. And I mean, that aside, I thought it was it was very good. Like it was much better than I was expecting because most video game movies are terrible. But it was good. Ryan Reynolds is good. He's making some very good choices with his roles recently, and he's very tuned into like the geek vibe. Like he's making some smart choices, which is great.
Wait, is he calling you right now?
He is. He heard me say that I was praising
Oh
him, and
my
he's calling me on my
goodness.
private line.
Well, answer it.
Yeah, yeah, he
You're
talks
not.
too much.
He
I don't want
calls
to
too
talk to him
much.
right now. He's a nice guy, but like it's kind of awkward.
I would
Later.
have answered the call. Is all I'm saying. It's Ryan.
He's. I don't have time for Ryan right now. Later.
Okay. Okay.
But it was a good movie. Like it was funny. The nods were pretty good. I felt like the little bits and pieces they took from other games were pretty good. I mean, yeah, it was a much better film than I was expecting. So that was definitely a thumbs up for sure.
Did you see that part that I was talking about, and the fact that there's this huge undercurrent plot about indie games, really?
About indie games, refresh my
Yeah.
memory a little bit.
So basically, the two characters are in the movie who developed
Oh, the developers,
properties of that game were getting like screwed by the major developer,
Right,
or the
right.
big publisher, big developer, and their game was a game that I want to play in real life, which is like a really interesting, AI NPC driven game.
Sure.
And so yeah, they were like getting screwed, and basically that's kind of what the crux of the movie's about, which I think
Yeah.
is a cool hook.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I thought the whole thing was really well done. And, of course, you have to let go of certain things just to kind of keep the movie going along. But overall, I thought it was really good, really enjoyable. I mean, everybody in the family really liked it a lot. So
Cool.
good times.
Two more things on my house side of my housekeeping. House side?
Your house side? On
The
your
video's
side?
doing it. I think it's the video. Well, good. Let's blame everything else we say for the rest of the episode on the video.
On the video. Okay. Done.
So I was thinking about scary games I can play. We're going to talk about a couple of them today on the show. I asked somebody on TikTok because I'm on the TikToks, and this user AppleSass199 said,
I like that name. Apple
I
Sass.
know.
That's cute.
said I should try Outlast 1 and 2. And
Ooh,
those
yeah.
those are ones everyone says are really, really scary. And I'm looking for something scary because I generally don't get scared. And I think they're both on Game Pass.
Oh, they probably are. I think I remember seeing those and I just being like,
Yeah.
nope. Because I remember
Nope.
when they came out and it was like the whole disempowerment genre, getting chased, running away in dark places. Like, fuck all of that, dude. I want no part of that. But
Well,
go
that's
ahead and
funny.
check it out.
That's funny you should say that because in the comments we were talking, and I was like, what I would love is a horror game that's also an RPG. Now, I know there's like Blackthorn. Well, not Blackthorn. What's the famous one? Blackthorn. It's not
Blackthorn? That's not.
I think it's an SNES game.
It is, but that's not what you're talking about.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. Oh, that's not really an RPG, though. I mean, it's like more action-y, Dark Souls-y kind of thing.
Actiony dark. Okay, but basically, I don't like disempowerment either, but I do like creepy, right? And so that's what's interesting. I'd love to have a hybrid where like I could actually feel like the character is a little bit empowered, but then also scary. And I know that's kind of Resident Evil.
Sort of,
But,
yeah. I mean, I would be interested in exploring more horror RPGs. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of what out there is a horror RPG-ish? I mean, maybe like Parasite Eve 2, sort of, but that's like a million years old. Nobody knows about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing new. I can't think of anything new that's
Nothing,
like
yeah,
that.
nothing recently new. Like it's all like first person in dark hallways, which is just like so fucking boring to me, and I just have no interest in that. I would love to do like like a turn based like Cthulhu esque or something. There's been some. No, those were action too.
Oh,
Those are
remember that third person Cthulhu game came out and we didn't like it at
the
all. Or
Sinking City was no good.
yeah,
Yeah, because it had
yeah,
action elements, even though it was kind of like an RPG, but it wasn't like how I think we're thinking of it right now. Like I,
yeah, yeah.
what is the. Oh gosh, it was on PS1. It was an RPG. It definitely had horror elements. Main guy, his name was Yuri, I think, and he had like a werewolf, and there was a train, and Roger Bacon was like the main bad guy. Oh, it was like
I have
so.
no idea.
Oh, and it spawned like 3 or 4 sequels, and one of the sequels it had like God, I want to say it was like a gay wrestling vampire, and it just spiraled off into like camp.
You are
It had,
like losing me on everything
oh
you
my god,
talk about with it. With it.
Hearts of no, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Hearts of
Hearts of
Darkness? No.
Darkness, no, that's not it. Carnage Heart, no, that's not it.
Well,
Oh, it was one of my favorite games back in the day, and I haven't played it for 20 years, and so I've forgotten what it is. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Keep talking.
look it up. And I have one more thing for my housekeeping.
Yes.
So the last thing is, I have two last things. Sorry, I lied. One, speaking of horror games that are kind of creepy, I'm thank you to Scale Up on YouTube, who I watch his channel all the time. He reminded me about this game that I had talked about on this show with you that I thought you would like. It's called Inscription.
I've
Remember
heard about
Inscription?
this. Yeah, it's only on PC right now, but I definitely have my eye on it. It seems pretty cool.
It's out by Devolver Digital. The demo's out now at the time of this recording. I think only on PC, maybe. We should check.
Yeah, it's just PC for right now. I can confirm
Okay.
that for sure.
But then it's out next week, like straight up out, released next week.
That's
So
exciting. And it comes from who are the developers? Because the developers had a hit recently. What was the?
you can look it up. I don't know.
Oh
I
man,
don't
I'm
do
looking. I'm
information.
looking up that other thing first. Oh my god.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'll explain what it is to our listeners.
Yeah,
It's
go
a
ahead.
horror game. It's an escape room game. It's also a roguelike card game. So you're basically looking at a table that's a map, and then you do card battles with like to fight monsters and stuff and like rats. But then you're in this huge like kind of creepy room, first person. And like you've got to get out of that room. So it's kind of a game within a game,
It looks very cool. It looks very cool.
a gameception.
Gameception. Shadow Hearts is what I was trying to think of. Shadow Hearts.
Oh, I know that game.
Shadow
Yes.
Hearts is kind of a horror with like more traditional RPG. It came from Kudelka, which was the game before that, which connects to it. That was also horror kind of RPG. And Shadow Hearts got pretty kooky by the end of it. I kind of lost me
Yeah.
with the kookiness, but a lot of people really like that a lot. But I would love to have more horror games where they're not Resident Evil and they're not first person in dark hallways.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we want more of those, and also check out Inscription for anybody who's playing on
Yes.
PC.
It's spelled weird though. It's like INCRY.
Yeah, CRYPTION.
in case you're searching for it. Wishlist that. Wishlisted on Steam.
Wish list. It helps the developers.
does.
Last thing in the housekeeping, which is a real house that we really go to every other episode besides this one.
And we actually keep.
Yep. A He-Man bit of information for you.
I'm always up for more. Man, I'm so fucking deep in the He-Man shit right now. You have no idea.
This is why I'm bringing it up.
Thank you.
So a friend of mine on Instagram and kind of in real life, I've not met him yet, but I've talked to him. His name's Rob McCallum. Do you know Rob at all?
I don't think so. What's his name?
Okay.
I mean, what's his handle?
He does documentaries, and he did Nintendo Quest. He did Power of Grayskull, which is on He-Man. And he did a Kitty documentary, which I love this band, Kitty. And anyways, he's awesome, and he just posted a picture of a toy that he got, and it's called an Anti-Eternian.
Oh, is it like the pitch black, like the
It's like
evil
silvery.
version?
Yeah, it's like blue silver. It's like,
Yeah.
like Bizarro Man or like Super, whatever. What was Bizarro? Bizarro.
He was from Superman. Yeah, he was from
Yeah.
the alternate Superman dimension or whatever.
Yeah. So anyways, I just saw that and I thought, uh-oh, Brad might need this toy.
I am going so deep right now. I'm getting on message boards and I'm going to eBay and looking at things, and I got boxes of shit in my garage. I should probably dig out and see what I got back there. But yeah,
But
it's
you
like,
don't have an Anti-Eternian.
No, because that was when I kind of fell off it for a while, just because like life, and I ran out of money, and you go through different phases in life and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's that crazy stuff, like the negative universe He-Man and all that crazy stuff, was when I kind of was like, I was in one of my low points when I wasn't in touch with the franchise. So I'm kind of rediscovering it and finding it out again. I'll have to check that one out.
Also, check out Power Grayskull if you haven't checked out his documentary.
Strangely enough, I've never heard of it. I'm gonna queue it up
Check
right
it
now.
out
I'm
right
gonna watch
now.
it literally right now.
I don't. He might have did a deal with Netflix and see if it's on there or not. I'm not sure if he did
Yeah,
yet, but
good thing. All right,
and
cool.
anybody else, check out Rob McCallum. It's McCallum. He's got a bunch of cool docs.
Cool.
And that's it. We're done with housekeeping.
All right, that was housekeeping. Let's just jump right into the content. As usual, we bring a bunch of games. Although, ironically, not as many games as we usually do. This has been a really, really busy week for me since the last time we recorded. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't had as much time as I normally do, and I don't start with a lot of time to begin with. So I've been playing a little bit of Death Stranding because it's like so fucking chill, just like driving around the fields and delivering boxes. I haven't really started a lot, but I do have some things to talk about. So in case anybody gets in the show and they're like, they only talked about 18 games, what the fuck? Like, like that's what happened. I got
Yeah.
super busy with real life stuff, and it's not up to my normal standards, but we'll see what happens here.
Listen, it's not 150 games, but it's at least 18.
I mean, at least 18. All right, let's launch into it. Carlos, we're going to start with you right now. Kind of in the spirit of Halloweeny, I'm not going to be bringing very many scary games. I may bring one. We'll see. I may bring one or two. Not this show. But you are bringing a couple because you are going to, use your innate bravery and try these spooky waters with all these games that might be appropriate for the Halloween season.
Yes.
Let's start off with one that actually, honestly, looks pretty interesting to me. It's called SILT, SILT, all in caps. And all I know about it is it's some kind of a 2D underwater spooky game, which I saw a trailer and it looked pretty neat. So what's up with SILT?
Yeah, and I'm adding the creepy music in post production. So
okay,
it's
cool.
There.
Ooh, spooky.
Scowly, ghastly games for what did I say last time?
We got to nail that down, bro.
We do, and I am not doing that. The ghoulish and ghastly games of Halloween.
Of Goktober.
Yeah, jeez Louise. So these are. I have a couple this week, and then we'll have maybe 3 next week. So could look forward to that.
Okay.
This one is the least creepy, but it's a cool look to it. It looks like Limbo underwater.
Yeah, I love the look of it.
Yeah, it's super like dark and simple graphics, and like you said, 2D. And it's a demo, so I only played the demo. It kind of ends pretty short. I got to an area where I don't know if it was the end of a demo or if it was a bug, because I couldn't go any further. So I'm thinking it's a bug, unfortunately, but for the time that I spent with it, I get the idea of what they're doing, which is really simple. You're a deep sea diver underwater, very creepy, dark aesthetic. It's cool. It's got that same kind of Limbo feel where like some stuff's in the foreground.
And this is like 2D side view, right?
Yeah, 2D, but then like some of that, stuff that you can see in the foreground and the background. And what you're doing is you have a power that can take over other fish and things in the sea. So basically, what is that power called when you can jump into another body?
Oh, I like possess something?
Possession, I guess. Yeah.
Or you're basically Aquaman then, I guess?
Yeah, that sounds less scary.
You were Aquaman taking control of fish under the sea?
Wow, that sounds way less scary. And this is now not a ghouly and ghastly game. Yeah, so basically, you like say there's like little teeny fish, and you take over one of them, and it can get through a little passageway that normally you couldn't, and unlock a gate or something.
Sure.
And then you take over a piranha, and the piranha can shoot through wires. And then there's a huge kind of like whale or hammerhead shark or something, and it can smash things that other things can't. So that's kind of the whole game. Like that's all I could play in the demo. And yeah, it's got some creepy music, and you're underwater, but you're not really worried about like breathing. You have a little deep sea diving suit.
There's no oxygen meter?
Yeah, there's not that, which would make it creepier because then you'd be worried all the time. But it's just kind of exploratory and figuring out puzzles.
Is there like a no combat, or like was anything chasing you at any point? Like were you worried about dying at any point?
The piranha can bite you, I think, and I think the hammerhead shark killed me. So what you had to do there is you had to possess it so it didn't kill you, but there's like an area where there's a bunch of them. And so you had to like, be one of the sharks and kind of be like, hey, don't worry about that guy down there. He's fine. I'm over here. I'm a shark. And then like get past that area. So yeah, you could die a couple ways, but again, you just respawn and start over. So it's a very chill atmosphere, chill puzzle game, really.
It looks really cool. I don't usually go in for spooky, but this does not really trigger my spooky fear response. It just looked kind of neat, and I like the visuals, and The underwater vibes seem kind of cool. And if it's more puzzle oriented rather than you're about to drown with the oxygen meter, or if people are chasing you all the time, then that seems like it's right up my alley, maybe.
Yeah, it's just like a chill experience. Right now, there's a demo on Steam for free. Obviously, just check out the demo, and I think people should check it out. I'm excited to see when the full game comes out and get past the area that I got stuck at because I feel like it might be a bug. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Not really the creepiest game for this Halloween episode, but it's cool nonetheless.
You got to start small. You can't, roll out the big guns
Yeah,
right off
we're
the bat.
easing
Start
in.
easing
We're
into
easing
it.
in.
Easing into
Yeah.
it. So one other game that we were planning to talk about, which I guess something weird happened because I saw you tweet about it, and then kind of like a red flag went up. But Visage, or Visage, I guess, not sure how you want to pronounce that. Visage, Visage, was another one that had kind of a Halloweeny themed demo, which I sent your way. You didn't really fill me in on what happened, but what's going on with Visage?
Yeah, it wasn't that it was scary and I was like, I'm not playing this because I was looking for scary. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm looking
Sure.
for scary
You set out
experiences.
for it. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And this is a kind of first person, puzzle horror game where you have to like go figure things out and, go through a story. Well, it started and, I don't know if I'm spoiled by PT, even though that's like years old by now, but I do want like some really high fidelity, good graphics in my horror games. And it's not like, I think it's a small studio. So it's that kind of is a ding against it already because you go, well, I'm not scared because I'm not fully immersed. Secondly, and most importantly, I noped out, like you say, of this demo immediately because the beginning of the game is you're first person and you're a character and you're going to have to go through some, experience that's supposed to be scary. But the very, very, very first cutscene is you are loading a gun as trigger warning for maybe people who don't want to listen to this because it's terrible. Skip ahead 5 minutes. You're loading a gun and your family's there tied up and they're like crying and it's terrible and they're like bleeding and you kill them all.
What?
Yeah, and then you kill yourself and then it proceeds to start the game. And I was like, no.
Oh, dude, I would have noped out of that shit too. I would have been
I don't
like,
care
ouch.
what his
Yeah.
story is. You think I want to go through his story now? Like, that's crazy.
That is a rough place to start. That is dark.
You see what I'm saying? And not
Yeah.
dark fun. Like, that's
No,
stupid.
just like why in the world would you do this dark? That to me is too much. I mean, I'm already like not down for a game like this, but hearing about that, I would be out like instantly. I
Right.
don't blame you a bit.
And it took a while too, and I was like, "Whoa, this is taking a long time too." It's not even like a flashback or something quick, But then I looked at online, looked up the stories, and there's all these different like, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, PT type stuff that you do. But it's all serving this kind of obscure, weird, mind trip that this guy's going on. But I don't care about this guy now. Like I don't want to do anything for him.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty big barrier to get over. To get somebody into a game like that, I can understand why you maybe were not curious to go on that journey. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
So no Visage for me, thanks.
All right. Well, that's I mean, we got one down and one. I mean, you tried, so good on you for trying. But we're gonna skip this one and just move on. So we have more Halloween stuff to come, folks. Don't worry, we will be covering a few.
No, we started the scariness in a bad.
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere. It's okay. It's only uphill from here.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Let me talk for a second about Tales of Iron. This is a 2D. I mean, I guess it's a Souls-like game, I suppose. It doesn't exactly feel like Souls to me. It just feels like a very kind of tight action game, 2D action game. But a lot of the people who play Souls in my timeline are kind of like gravitating around this one right now. And I mean, I can see the parallels here, but I wouldn't sell it necessarily as a Soul-like. Anyway, you play a rat in a kingdom of rats. You got like a little shirt on. You live in a castle. Kind of a medieval theme, except for everybody's rats. And the game starts with you guys defending yourselves against the frogs, who are bad because frogs, I don't know, green,
Come on.
Whatever. I mean, I like frogs. Frogs are great.
Oh, you do?
I love frogs.
They creep me out a little bit.
I get along real well with frogs. In fact, I would take frogs over rats any day. But anyway, the frogs are the bad guys. You defend the kingdom, blah, blah, blah. And happens they come back after getting defeated and they get revenge. They destroy your whole kingdom. And then the game starts out with you, the prince rat, needing to like kill all the frogs you come across and reclaim your kingdom using swords and shields, blocking, parrying, dodging, all in a 2D setting. quasi medieval anthropomorphic animal setting. I will say right off the bat, this game's art is fucking awesome. It looks fantastic. It is a
Yeah,
very cool. I mean, I don't know how to even describe the type of 2D art it is, but it looks very much like oh God, I mean, kind of a rustic, sort of a maybe kind of a medieval, kind of a scrawling
it's
sort of
totally
vibe to it.
medieval.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got like a dark outline to everything.
yeah, but it doesn't look cel shaded at all. It looks like just old like pictograms or something, or like if you looked at an old illuminated page out of an old medieval book or something, it kind of looks like that. It
Mm.
looks fantastic. I love the graphics. I will say the controls are also really tight. There's like a block, there's a dodge. You have a little flask you can drink of. You fill it with bug juice to give yourself some life back. Pretty standard stuff. There's like a heavy attack that enemies do that you can dodge out of the way. There's a parry that you got to parry. There's an unblockable. I mean, it kind of follows all the same basic tropes of like these kind of action games. But the controls are tight. It's really well done. It looks great. I'm just kind of in early days right now. I haven't gotten very far into it. The only thing I will say so far is that it does definitely feel difficult. There's kind of a mix to the combat that I didn't expect. And what I mean by that is when you go into the tutorial, I think it's a bonus mission actually. I don't think you need to do the tutorial, but of course I did. I love a good tutorial. And they say, okay, well, when the enemy glows red, then you got to push dodge, and when they glow yellow, you got to parry, and when they do this other thing, then you got to double roll because that's unblockable. Like they kind of walk you through the whole like when the enemy does this, you do that, and I'm like, okay, cool, I appreciate that. But when you actually go out into the world, I guess I kind of expected every enemy would have the color coding all the time, but it's not. It's only sometimes. So when I started doing combat, I was like standing there waiting for people to like flash a color, and they didn't. And then I would like take all these hits because I was standing there like a dumbass waiting for them to do something, but they were simply
Oh,
doing an attack that wasn't color coded. So that kind of threw me for a minute. I'm like, whoa, how am I supposed to respond to that? Because you just taught me to look for colors, and then all of a sudden the first thing I'm doing has no color to it. But I picked up pretty quickly that enemies will do a mix. So sometimes they'll do regular attacks with no color. Sometimes they will have a color that wasn't super clear in the tutorial. So whatever. Got into that pretty quickly. And once I figured that out, I feel like it's been okay. Definitely challenging. I've died more than I expected to, for sure.
yeah. I was going
But
to ask you because obviously people are talking about being like a Dark Souls type game.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty difficult here, at least in the action part of it.
It is very difficult. It is definitely stiff, and you have to have good reflexes, and you have to really think on your toes. And it's tough. I don't know. I guess I'm just not in this kind of a mindset right now of being constantly ready to read like, is this a normal attack? Is it a color coded attack? If it's a color coded attack, which one is it, and what is the counter to that? And like, I just started it today, so it's not like I'm like super deep. I haven't put a bunch of hours into it. I'm sure it'll become reflexive as you go on, second nature.
Yeah.
But I'm still in the learning to cope with the controls phase, and so it's a little awkward. I'm dying a bunch, but I think it's really well put together. It looks great. If you want some tight Souls like, or just difficult 2D combat action, I feel like this really delivers, and it's really cute and really well put together.
Yeah,
Um,
I love the art style, but I'm just wondering about the kind of progression. It seems like there isn't much of that from the reviews I'm listening to. Like an RPG style or a Souls like game, you'd actually like level up stuff. But it seems like this is just based on like armor sets. Is that right?
yeah, from what I can tell, it's just about the armor you have. I think there's a weight component to it, so like the more you weigh, the slower you react, and there's like trade-offs to that. And some armor is strong against certain types of enemies. So like you start out with armor that's strong against frogs, but then you can see in the menu there's like mosquito-based armor, and I don't know what the other monsters are. There's like 4 different classes of enemies.
Hmm.
So it seems like it's mostly about armor, not really like an RPG progression. That's why it's kind of just more about an action game. Like it's just about
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
combat, moment to moment. Not really a Souls like in that sense. So take that for what you will. I will say also they have a very interesting approach to the narrative. All the mice do not speak. I mean, it's like I want to say it's like a flute sound, or maybe like a recorder sound, like a little like bird-like notes that are being played when the mice talk, which is kind of weird. And then every
Hmm.
once in a while, a human narrator will pop up and like kind of narrate the story. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of cute. I kind of wish the mice were talking because, I mean, it would just kind of make me like them a little bit more. I feel a little bit distanced from what's going on.
Yeah.
But, paying for one narrator is a lot cheaper than paying for 15 voice actors for all the characters. So I
Well, at
get
least
it.
it's not that sim language, right? It's not really
Right.
that kind of annoying language.
Yeah, it's not the blah, 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 blah. Like it's,
Yeah.
the flute sound is kind of a more pleasant sound than that, but it is a little bit weird, but it's not bad at all. Just not what I expected, I guess.
Didn't
So,
you know that's what mice sound like in real life? They make a whistle sound when they talk.
oh man, I have a lot of rodents in my yard right now. Rodents, if you have chickens, then you have rats. Like it just kind of goes hand in hand, and that's not the sound they make. I can guarantee that.
Shit. Oh yeah, I just said mice. I meant rats, but yeah, neither of them
Neither of
sound like
those
that.
make that sound. So anyway,
All
Tales of
right.
Iron, early days. I just started it like earlier today, and I'm only like a couple hours into it, but so far, I mean, if you want 2D action, I feel like this is a pretty tight jam. It's pretty good stuff.
Check it out.
Check it out. All right, Carlos, back to you for another quick jaunt onto the Halloween side with Creepy Tale 2. This one's coming to PC and Switch. I never played Creepy Tale 1, but I know that it exists because this is called Creepy Tale 2. And I don't know anything about this other than the fact that it's 2D, hand drawn, and you're like, I don't know what, a little boy going through some spooky adventure or something like that?
Yeah, I love your intros. You're like say literally almost what the game is, but then you put a question mark at the end and then just have me say it over.
I mean, I
again.
could be wrong. I don't know. You tell me, man.
Well, lots of times you're right. Lots of times you're like, here's a description of the game, Carlos. Is that what this is? And then I go, yep, that's it. Next,
Cool.
moving on.
Moving on.
Before I go, I'm going to go on a tangent because of Halloween and horror. You just said, like, I'm pretty sure Creepy Tale 1 exists. A fun fact, which I might have brought up on the show before, I'm not sure, but there's a horror comedy series called House. Have you ever heard of it?
Like movies?
Yeah, movies.
Oh yeah, dude, I love those movies, man. Those movies are like the best.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're so crazy. They're like horror. Yes, horror comedy for sure.
Okay, in the vein of, because we're old, Saturday the 14th and stuff, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Well, they made House 1 and 2, and they were both mildly successful back in the day. But then they made House 4, and they never made House 3.
Oh, did that happen? Did they really do that?
Yeah, because I know it was one of my fun facts, and I did like a movie podcast a long time ago. And House 4 is quite possibly one of the worst movies ever made. Not fun, trying to be funny. It's terrible. There's a talking pizza. It's awful.
Why did they skip to 4 instead of 3?
I don't know. And I think they allude to like 1 and 2, like things that go on in 1 and 2, some lore. But fun, just little side thing about a horror comedy show or movie that no one knows about. House 4. Props to you.
I mean, House 1 and 2 are pretty good, though. I watched those with my son, and we really enjoyed both of them. They're super cheesy,
Yeah.
but worth watching if you like that cheesy kind of 80s horror vibe. Pretty good stuff.
You should watch House 4 and then talk about it on the show. We'll both do it. And I'll go back to it because I haven't seen it since I was like a youngin', like
Oh,
when it
man.
came out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
type it in and see what year it came out. Anyways,
All right.
so as you're doing that, House 4, yeah, they didn't make House 3 funny. Creepy Tale 1 was a game. Creepy Tale 2 is also a game. I'm excited about this because tangent number 5 of the show, it reminds me of a very, very cool game and developer that I love. The developer I love is called Kill Monday Games, and they made Little Misfortune, one of my favorite games of all time. And they also made a game called Franbo, which is their first kind of adventure game. And it has a very similar vibe to Creepy Tale 2. So I was like, had no expectations for this game, right? Didn't know about it, didn't know about Creepy Tale 1. But what it is, it's an adventure game, side scrolling, 2D, 2.5D, because you can move a little bit in the environment, up and down.
Foreground and background.
Foreground and background. And then you can, you're, like you said, you're a little boy. His name is, I forget, Lars.
Okay.
And he's just like living in a small little town. And it's kind of like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale style. And the art's, really simple and kind of cartoony. And it's a puzzle adventure game, which generally I don't like. But in the exception of Franbo, Little Misfortune, both games from Kill Monday Games, and this game, which the developer is called Creepy Brothers, which is an awesome developer name, I like an adventure game in this way because if the story and the, well, to pun intended, creepiness is fun and interesting enough, then I'm in, right? Like an adventure game that's like just a mystery and put a soda can together with, CD.
Yeah, totally.
I don't want to do it, right? But if the source material is like weird enough or funny enough, then I'm in. So that's the case with Creepy Tale 2, because I really like the concept. You start as a little kid, you're in a little log cabin with your sister and dad, and it seems pretty normal. Like the sound effects are great. Put your headphones in if you're playing on the Switch, and you're gonna. It's like a creepy fall weather out, and you're going and chopping logs and doing like basic stuff an adventure game would do. But then after you do like a couple simple puzzles, it fucking changes fast. Like all of a sudden, and this is a spoiler, but I think it's good. So people know this game isn't just like a, point and click kind of like slow, boring adventure.
Okay.
Literally after you do a few puzzles and get the idea of how to do things in a game and combine objects, like two creepy monsters show up and like take out your dad and sister.
Oof, that's
And
rough.
and I don't mean kill them. I think they just like capture them.
Okay.
But the fact is, they're scary as hell looking. Like it like jarred me a little bit because it lulls you into a sense of like, what's that saying?
Complacency.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, this is just a chill adventure game. It's cold out and chopping logs, but then all of a sudden it goes right into like really creepy monsters, which again, Franbo does the same thing, and Little Misfortune a little bit. So I love this style of game. And I'm all the way in with this. Where I normally, you know me, I'm not adventure game guy. So I just like. I don't want to say anything else because it's really just about the kind of comedy, light comedy, really creepy atmosphere, and you're on this journey with this little boy trying to like go find his sister and dad. And there's like really creepy monsters.
Wow.
It's the best one so far of this episode for like the ghastly and ghoulish games because it's just creepy. I really like it.
Excellent. All right. We are on the uptick now. We got something good.
Yes, we're going up the hill now.
Here we go. Okay, good. Creepy Tale 2. I'll check into it. I think the trailer was pretty cool looking. It may be too scary for me because even 2D, even puzzle based, my tolerance is so low these days,
Really?
dude. Yeah,
Even
it may
2D?
be. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, let me take over for a minute talking about a game called Pathway. I didn't know anything about this. I have not heard anyone talking about this game ever. And I found it when I was just randomly tooling through the Switch eShop. I was just like, oh, I'm in the mood for something and I don't want to play anything on my backlog, which is dumb because my backlog is like hundreds of games and I should pick something I already own. But I'm like, oh, I feel like something fresh and new and what's going on here. And I think it was on sale at some point. And I'm like, oh, wow, look at this. The key art for the game, like the little icon was like pretty cool. And I check in the screenshots. I'm like, oh, this art is really great. Like a top-down 2D pixel-based, like really detailed. Looks very attractive if you like pixel games. And I'm like, oh, like what is all this about? And it's kind of like an Indiana Jones-ish vibe where you are on a journey I don't think it's based in real countries. It might just be like fictional, like Middle East type countries or whatever, where you choose a party of 3 people. And as the game starts, you have like, I think, I don't know, like 8 to choose from, but there's like half the characters are locked from the beginning. But you pick like, the Indiana Jones-ish guy. And then there's like a medic lady. And then there's like a guy who's from that country, who's like an Arabic guy. And he like knows the landscape. And, there's like a doctor and there's like whatever. There's a couple other people. You pick, oh, there's a dog too. I'm pretty sure there's a dog. So just
There's
FYI, there's a dog.
The pictures, yeah.
Yeah. So you pick your characters and you go to like an overworld map, and the map is just like a bunch of spots. Like so it's not like you're exploring a map. It's just like you look at these dots on the map, cities and villages and towns. You pick one and you go there, and it could be a random event. It could be like, oh, you arrive and the villagers are friendly and they give you a turkey leg and you go on your way plus 2 health or something. Like it could just be like a little text bubble.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a shop. It could be like a random challenge where it's like, oh, you found a crypt. Would you like to explore? And then it'll have choices. It'll be like, oh, if you have somebody who has engineering skill, then you can like leverage the rock. And if you have somebody who has brute force, then they can pick up the rock. And if you have somebody who's, I don't know, sneaky, they'll find a secret back way into the crypt or something. Look, so like, if you have those skills, it's great. Like you'll have a successful roll. If you don't have the skills, then you can like roll some virtual dice to see whether you make it or not. And then apart from those things, it could also be a battle. And there's tons of Nazis all over the map. And, you'll roll up to a town and it'll be like, oh, the Nazis are being really mean to the townsfolk. Do you intervene? Yes or no? And then if you say yes, then it goes to a turn-based tactics sort of a game. You always like get to put your people on the map. You can see the layout of where the enemies are, and then you kind of go from there. Turn based. Everybody's got their various skills. Like the Indiana Jones guy is real good with a knife. The medic lady can heal people, of course, and she's got a gun of some sort. And the Arabic guy that I picked, what was his power? It was like he could fix armor. That's what it was. So like if your armor got damaged, he could patch you up, and he also had some kind of another rifle or something. So it's kind of like a really micro scale XCOM when it gets to the combat. I mean, pretty simple and straightforward. It's not super deep, and a lot of it is basically who gets to go first and if you get ganged up on or not. But I mean, I feel like the combat is pretty good. I feel like the graphics are great, and I really like the kind of just like rolling through the adventure, going from town to town. What are you going to get? Is it a text choice? Is it a challenge? Is it a fight? And kind of going back and forth as you're, managing food and fuel and stuff. It's just a really cool, interesting game, and I'm really enjoying it. I think there are 6 campaigns total. I think I've finished the first 2. And it's really fun. It's a great game to play at nighttime in short bursts. A little bit of tactics, a little bit of, I don't know, choose your own adventure. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that as you're describing it. It sounds like a choose your own adventure. We played games like this, and again, we don't have these templatized names for them, but where it's like a mixture of things, right? It's that, hey, this might happen, these little encounters might happen, but this one seems to mix, like you said, like the strategy combat in there with it. And that's interesting. And it kind of looks like Advance Wars in a way with the graphics.
A little bit, yeah. When you do the combat portions, it does look like Advance. I mean, sort of. It doesn't play like Advance Wars, but it kind of has that same kind of art style vibe to it. So that makes sense for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a winner overall. I'm really enjoying it. The only thing that I would say is kind of a knock against it, and it's not even a big knock, but like I kind of wish the characters had like a little bit more personality. Like I wish they had some catchphrases or something, something to make them stand out as like stronger personalities. They kind of feel like archetypes, which is okay, but I kind of would like, instead of being Indiana Jones guy, I wish he was like, I don't know, Biff Granite, super adventurer or something, like something cheesy. So you could kind of attach yourself to them a little bit more and maybe pick up your favorites. It feels a little bit generic in terms of personality, and I really like strong personality in game. But in terms of mechanics, planning, design, like the graphics, it's all pretty cool. I really dig it.
It's a cool find. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed it out. I might check it out on my Switch.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. So that is Pathway. Let's turn it over to you. You were bringing something that I was almost going to pull the trigger on, but then I knew you were bringing it to the show, so I stopped. I'm like, okay, let's wait. Calm down, self. Let's see what Carlos has to say. Beast Breaker.
Yes.
It looks like a very interesting, weird indie that like, kind of does something unexpected. That's what drew me to it in the first place. Carlos, please tell us what Beast Breaker is.
I am so addicted to this game. And if I am addicted to this game and I don't play my Switch much, you're going to have to pick up
It's got to be good, because if Carlos is playing the Switch, it's got to be good.
Literally at night now, I play 2 games. I play Creepy Tale 2 and I play Beast Breaker. I ran out of breath because I've been playing it so much. So it's a mouse bouncing adventure is what they call it. It feels like an RPG with Peggle, which we've never talked about Peggle on the show, but when I had my Xbox 360, that was my jam.
Okay, I did not realize you were a Peggle fan.
Oh my goodness. We've never talked about it. Do you like the Peggle?
That's fine. I mean, I don't think I know that it was huge for a while and I played it and I thought it was fine, but it never really like grabbed me the way that it grabbed other people.
I just like, there's something about, and it's not just Peggle. There's other games that are like this. They're escaping all of me right now, but like the one where you're like planning out where something trajectory is going to go, right?
Yeah.
That style of a game is very interesting to me. Some pinball games have done that. The Pinball RPG comes to mind. What's that one?
Rollers of the Realm?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Where again, you have RPG elements, but you're also doing kind of a game that is physics-based. So that's kind of what this is. You play as a little character, a mouse, and your mom, I think it is, used to be like the biggest hero in the world and took out all these like huge beasts. But now she's awesome. But now she's just retired and chilling. And, unfortunately, she's going to watch you, the little young mouse, go back and kind of do the same things that she did. So there's kind of 2 parts of the game. There's one which is like at the hub, which is your home base, and you have like different menus there where you can upgrade things, you can craft things, basically make yourself better and stronger for when you do the beast battles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other part of the game when you fight the beast. Actually, there's a third part I just remembered, which is a little small overworld map, teeny, not like the whole thing, where you kind of like look for the monster before you fight him sometimes, and you do some resource collecting, etc. But then, yeah, the whole game is basically fighting these monsters. Now, the monsters don't look like traditional monsters, and I'm not sure why they don't, because maybe the way that this game works and the mechanics of them doesn't really fit like a monster that you'd think of. So they're kind of like metallic and made up of different sections, because the game is you throw yourself, you the mouse, with your little sword at the monster in a Peggle fashion, and you'll bounce off different parts of the monster.
But the monsters are not moving, right? Like the monsters are kind of. I mean, what I saw from the trailer that I looked at really quickly, and I just looked at a minute of it. It looked like the quote unquote monsters are kind of like a board, and you're kind of bouncing yourself into it. So the monsters are not like monster. It's not a fight. Like they're not moving, right?
Well, it's kind of, they're doing both. So they don't look like a traditional monster. Like I said, they look like silver robotic, let's say robotic monster, but all their pieces are like away from the body, and the body's in the middle. You literally have to go Google it to see the pictures and understand. But as you throw yourself at it, you are trying to basically break different parts of the body off, or like kill the main body, which is in the middle. And they all have like little health points, right? Hit points. Like say the middle has 8 points, and the different arms and legs have like 3 or 4 points. Every time you like destroy one of the pieces, it like resets the counter and buys you more time to fight the monster.
Okay.
And then the monster, yes, does attack.
Oh, really? Okay, so how does that work?
So how it works is it has a cone of vision of where it's going to attack. And you basically, after you've bounced around, you don't want to land in that cone of attack value.
Okay, so as long as you're outside of where the attack is going to land, then you're safe.
Yeah.
And they telegraph that ahead of time. Gotcha.
And then you will get hit sometimes, and then you have health potions, etc. So it's such an interesting mix of games. And the developer of Threes, I believe, is the person who worked on this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is a super popular mobile game.
Oh, yes. Like people still play that all the time.
Right. I might be wrong on that. Maybe we could look it up. We don't do any research. But
I'm a researcher right now.
They're Videogames, and I thought that they worked on Threes. Anyways, it's insanely addictive, Brad. Like, I'm talking about it right now and just want to go like fight 2 monsters, because it's all about figuring out that trajectory. Then you have different abilities, like one's called Shield Bash, which means you can hit it, but then also get defense back. So when in case you do get hit, you won't get hit as much. There's different kind of ways to, like I said, take out different body parts that buy you more time. There's special like resources that the monsters drop, a la, let's say, Monster Hunter or something, where you can use those later to craft things. It's very addictive. Every little bit of it, they get right. And the story's like, okay. You go back and there's cutscenes with.
I was just going to ask you what the story is, because you're selling me pretty hard on the gameplay. You're telling me all the things I want to hear, but in terms of the story, is it just kind of like, just keeps it moving, or do you actually care about what's going on?
Yeah, it's just kind of there. There's a deep kind of like dark secret of some character who's like in the beginning, and you don't know who this character is, and there's a little bit of a twist. It's not what you're playing this for. Like, I'm always like going quickly. Go to the craft screen, make better weapons, because, the weapons, again, help you in battle, and just get me a monster. I just want to find a monster and figure out how I'm going to take out its arms, legs, and body. And I cannot stop playing this game. It's only $15, by the way.
Upgrades, or like what kind of like RPG elements are there to this? Like,
essentially just like you can craft a bunch of stuff. So you're crafting different types of weapons, and I'm not the biggest fan of different loadouts in RPGs, but it is kind of like that. Like, if you want to be more defensive, you can pick like your weapons and shield type stuff. Like, each set of weapons comes with different abilities. And, like I said, some abilities are defensive, some abilities are like extra damage, some abilities are working towards some of the mechanics they have in the game. It's not like heavy at all. And it's just kind of an extra nice, fun thing to do when you go back to base, is craft a bunch of stuff and give you more options when you're fighting the monsters. But it's really just about trajectory and planning, and it feels real fun to play.
Sounds like a winner. I think you've sold me on this one, dude.
I mean, I would be surprised if I didn't, because it seems like there's a bunch of things that you'd be into. And like I said, I don't play Switch games. I'm playing this one.
It's got to be great if you're playing it because
It's
I know
really, really
you,
good.
yeah, for sure. And it was the guy who did threes. That is, you are correct. It was that guy.
Nice. Okay, I got that right. Beast Breaker.
Beast Breaker.
Everybody go check it out. It's $15 on Switch.
Run, don't walk.
Totally.
Check
Run,
it
don't
out
walk.
now.
Yes.
Run, don't walk. Okay. Only one more game to go. We're making record time here on the show here. We are just blowing through these. Let's talk for a hot minute, about Far Cry 6.
Ooh, we're going to have to talk more than a hot minute.
2 hot minutes.
At least 3 or 7 or 12.
At least, maybe. Okay, so Far Cry 6, everybody knows, is the next big release from Ubisoft. It's obviously the 6th in the Far Cry series, although it's not really the 6th. I think there's probably a couple other ones in there. Open world, it's set in a land that is ostensibly Cuba, although it's not called Cuba. It's got kind of like a real strong Latin element to it, kind of revolutionaries and that kind of theme. I was not planning on playing this. I'm not really a big fan of the Far Cry games in general. I did really like the Far Cry Primal. I thought Far Cry Primal was really cool, and it kind of hooked me.
Interesting.
Yeah, with the caveman aspect, like the prehistoric animals, like that was enough to get me in, and I thought that was a really fun game. But I have not really connected with any other Far Cry at all, and the only reason I'm even talking about this one now is because it was on my GameFly queue. I put it on there a while ago for whatever reason, and I just forgot about it. And when my son got done with Just Dance 6 or whatever it was that he sent back, this was the next thing in my queue, and I'm like, oh, Far Cry 6. Okay, I guess I was first in line for this because it's brand new. So I popped it in to my Xbox X, gave it a shot, and to be perfectly honest with you, man, I don't have a lot to say about it because I don't know that I was necessarily in the mindset for it, and like I said, this isn't something that I was really super looking forward to. But I got maybe like 1 or 2 hours into it, and it was just, still doing the beginning stuff, like learning the systems, open world, lots of jungle. There's a zip line. I got an alligator buddy, talking to the revolutionaries, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I just like got busy, and I just didn't come back to it. So I didn't even have a very strong reaction to it either way. So I assuming you probably put like a lot more time into it yourself.
Yeah, and I have a lot to say about it. But to kind of like the background, like you said, you enjoyed Primal, which is interesting. I think most people like Far Cry 3 the best on record. I enjoyed Far Cry 5 a lot because their expansion mainly. So after Far Cry 5, there was one called, I think, New Dawn.
New Dawn, that's correct, yeah.
Which I liked better than actually 5, but it continued part of the story, essentially, from 5. So I like what they did there because they put that in Montana, and it was kind of around a cult, and I was really interested in that kind of concept and taking it out of the jungles, etc. But 3, people say they like that one a lot. 6 is probably the closest to 3, so if you liked 3, you're probably like 6. Like you said, it's basically set in Cuba. A fictitious Cuba.
Cuba, yeah.
Yara, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And, the big bad guy is Giancarlo Esposito, the actor, but he's Anton Castillo in the game. And there's a couple things I want to say up front before I get into, like, what I like and don't like about it. One, yeah, I'm a sucker for open worlds.
It's your jam. I figured you'd probably
it's
play
my
this.
Yeah.
It's your jam.
So even if I have a love-hate relationship of the game as I'm playing it, if it's going to offer me a world to escape in and upgrade myself, then I'm going to play it. So in that sense, it's more Far Cry. If you like any of the games before, besides Primal, because Primal is its own thing, you'll enjoy this game. The biggest criticism I see everywhere, where as it gets like 75s and stuff, is that it needs to change. So I agree at the top that they need to change it up again, because this is like 3 on steroids. It's just another kind of version of being in a jungle and fighting, starting a revolution, etc. But I will say this at the top: it definitely spoke to me more having Hispanic heritage, and they use, it's a bunch of Hispanic actors, right? It's not like a person trying to do an accent. That being said, Anton Castillo, Giancarlo, he's not Hispanic.
He's not Hispanic at all. In fact, I heard somebody call that out, and they're like, "Why are you picking this guy?" Because he simply just based on the color of his skin, because he's not from that heritage at all.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure why they picked him, but he works in this game because he is kind of the outsider. Like, he's the guy kind of that everybody doesn't want to be there, and he's creating this drug culture essentially there, and people want him out. So it makes sense for him to not even be Latino. Like it's like, hey, he's the outsider. So for me, it actually works in that way because I'm like, I don't like him right off the bat, just because he's just not like of that culture. And then secondly, yeah, to me, it just speaks to me and I really didn't realize how much I kind of need this in games more, but not to go on too much of a tangent, but representation, which we are, big proponents of, is super important. But when we talk about it, lots of times I talk about it detached, right? Like we talked about This Land Is My Land, which is one of the first Native American games. And we just don't get any of them. So I don't have a time to actually experience this representation that we always talk about on the podcast. So with this game, I kind of did, because it reminded me of my dad's from Texas, and I have like lots of family who are Hispanic and Mexican and Native American, and to be around them, it feels like a culture and a home and a belonging. And this is a tangent now, but just weirdly enough, and maybe other Latinos out there listening will have this experience, but playing this open world game in this world with all these, Hispanic actors actually voicing this game, I felt like a kinship. And even if the characters are a little cookie cutter, right? It's Far Cry. It's like a little bit goes a long way when it comes to representation. So I didn't think I'd bring that up in this review, but after playing it for I don't know, I probably played it 15 hours or something already. And I feel that. It feels like, I don't know, I feel like belonging in a weird way.
Interesting. I have definitely some Mexican in my background. My grandpa was from Mexico, so I have some roots in that, although I don't have a lot of it now. I'm not in the culture right now, and a lot of my family is still in California, and I live in Seattle, so we're not around each other too much. But I mean, it didn't connect with me in that way, just because I'm kind of so distant from it. But I heard a lot of people saying, I mean, it's interesting that you say that, and it seems like it's been really positive for you, because I heard a lot of people kind of bouncing off of it, saying that the characters felt a little bit too stereotypical, or they kind of talk in that I mean, I guess TV way of they'll say an entire sentence of English, but 2 words will be in Spanish or something. And I heard some people in my timeline who were themselves of Latin descent saying, they kind of bristled a little bit at that. I mean, you didn't think it was too cheesy. You felt like it was pretty right on for you.
It's funny. I'm glad you brought that up, because I speak like they speak, because I'm obviously more of an Americanized, Hispanic mix, right? And so they say a lot of pinga and suerte and stuff. And if I hear that stuff and I start talking it, I start almost hearing my own accent come back to me a little bit. But when I do speak Spanish, which is, un poquito, I do sound like them. So I'm very, very in the minority here, pun intended, because they sound like broken English. Yes. Yeah. Broken Spanish and broken English, and I'm like, that's how I sound. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why I like it, but
all right, I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair, man. That's your experience for sure.
And I mean, they overuse pinga, which is dick. You're like a prick or whatever. They overuse that. I wouldn't say it as much as they do in the game. So they're not wrong. They say suerte all the time, which is good luck. But the other thing they say is mijo, and my dad would say that to me, right? And that's really special to me. So that one, feels good. So anyways, that's just a side tangent, but, I think you can really, really basically be oh, they're just, not speaking it right. But sometimes in this world that we're living in, where you just said, we're kind of not with some of our family and we're not around people that we love or whatever, it takes such a small thing, Brad, to feel a little better. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, good. I'm glad you connected with it in that way. I mean, that seems really positive. So
yeah.
So okay. So that cultural connection aside, aside, in terms of the gameplay, I mean, so if you're 15 hours deep, and this is largely like Far Cry 3, do you agree that you feel like it's time for the formula to be freshened up, or are you jamming on it, or how do you like it?
Yeah, so I have pros and cons, because it's the only way I could do it, because there's just so much to say, and I'll go through them quickly. But the overview to the actual gameplay, the next game has to change, because I think this is I can take one more of these, and I think a lot of people playing probably say that to themselves if they're playing it, oh shit, we've done all these missions before, so it has to change. That's my short answer. Yes, this will be the last time I want to do this, okay? And put that on record. I don't want to play another Far Cry game if it does what it's doing now.
Okay.
But I will finish this one because of enough reasons, right? So really quickly, the pros and cons. The graphics are pretty good. I'm kind of a snob at this point because I'm very lucky to have PS5 and Xbox and a pretty good PC. So they're okay. I love that it's 60 frames per second. That makes me feel good and warm and fuzzy. But they're okay. It's fun to see the lighting in this game. The lighting's really good, and be in a jungle somewhere at sunset. It's cool. One of the things I didn't think I would love at all, but there's a slide in this game, and it's super fun to like just slide down hills. I don't know. I like sliding.
Oh, you mean like physically, like actually, like physically sliding down here? Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
you can slide anywhere. Like
Okay,
you just run for like 2 seconds and you slide, and it's like if you're on a hill, it uses physics, so you can like slide down hills. It's
Oh, sorry, it took me like a minute to. I was like, for some reason, I was like imagining like a playground, and I'm like, there's a slide,
Nice.
and what is Carlos telling me? Like, what is happening? Okay,
No, that's in Squid Games.
yes, it definitely is. Okay, I'm with you now. Sorry, gotcha.
Okay, and then the location, I like it. Again, back to the kind of Hispanic community, as well as like, I lose myself in these games. There was a party recently. There was fireworks. We were all drinking. We were on an island. I'm riding a jet ski. It doesn't take much. That's pretty fun to do. I love El Guapo, which is the alligator friend you have. There's a bunch of different companions, but the alligator, in my opinion, is the best because he just goes in and attacks people for you.
Yeah, you can send him in to like to grab guys.
Yeah, and he's great because I already leveled him all the way up, and so he like revives himself now, and he's awesome. And then also the emergent gameplay is a pro and a con. So this game has a lot of that kind of Skyrim and stuff, Fallout, whatever, open world stuff where the NPCs and things will do things on their own, and then weird stuff will just happen.
Right.
Far Cry's always had that. Like a bear starts going through the camp, and now you don't have to take out the camp because the bear did it. But this one has like a lot of broken ones. So one video I put up immediately was like people walking in the streets. If cars are driving, they'll just run them over. Like
Don't
just
even,
straight kill
Don't
them.
even pretend to stop.
Yeah, and they like straight up kill them. Like you see the person like die, and you're like, oh, that was in the programming. That was my first clip. If you go back on Twitter, Onawa, you'll see it's a guy, and he was a soldier, so I didn't want him to live. I was going to kill him anyhow.
Right.
But it was just like a little guy in a little teeny car, like beep beep, and the guy didn't move, and so he just ran him over. Blood everywhere. It's funny. Anyways, and that by the way reminds me of that game that we played with the old people from the Goat Simulator people.
Oh yeah, just die already.
Yeah. So in that game, the cars would never stop. That's another thing in this game. The cars don't stop. It's just weird.
Okay.
Here's some cons. And so I said enough pros. The fact that I like the atmosphere. I'm going to finish it. It is more of a Far Cry game. But some of those pros are cool. There's a lot of cons, though.
Okay.
And the first one is I had to immediately put it to story mode because there's action mode and story mode. And this game does a couple really bad things. One, enemies respawn at times. And Far Cry never used to do that.
Isn't that what everybody and their brother loves about Far Cry 2, which is one of the ones I like the least? Everybody says, that's great. If you don't like the respawning enemies, you don't love Far Cry.
Well, I don't love Far Cry then because no. In all the ones I've played, the more modern ones.
Yeah, the modern ones.
You feel good about taking out an outpost because you did that, right? And those people are now gone and you cleared it out. But I'm talking even before you clear it out and like you capture it, like enemies will come back if you like leave too far. Or if reinforcements, that's another thing I hate.
Gotcha.
The reinforcements are like forever, and if there's one guy in a tower somewhere after all the reinforcements showed up, you haven't killed him, so it's just stuck. It's like there's another person around, you have to go kill him. So I hate that.
That's funny you mention that because that happened to me a couple times where I would be like trying to clear out a checkpoint, and I feel like I killed everybody, and my alligator munched all the dudes, and I'm walking around, and there's like one dude who was like clipped through a hut, and I couldn't see him, and so I'm like, oh, he's just like standing here in this hut. And another time there was a guy that was in top of a guard tower, but he wasn't shooting at me, and he wasn't doing it, he wasn't attacking me, he just like was up there, and it kept saying alert, 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 and I'm like, what is going on? Like this whole camp is cleared out. So yeah, I get you what you're saying there for sure.
There's too much of that. The second piece of that is there's a lot of like you're in trespassing mode or you're in danger mode. So the game wants to do something interesting, which is if you put your gun away, enemies won't attack you generally.
Right.
But when you take it out, every time they even see you, they'll come after you. Like a truck could be driving by and you're just walking on the street with a gun and it might turn around. Like they're just way too aggro in this game. I don't know what they thought, and maybe again like the get good kids or whatever, but it's just not fun. The another piece of that, almost every single encounter you do, a helicopter just shows up, and it's absolute horse shit. Like I'm fighting in a teeny little camp. No one's around. I'm like a Far Cry game. You're trying to like be stealthy and take out a bunch of people. But even before the alarms, sounds or something, a helicopter will show up. And you got to use a missile launcher or do something to take care of that thing. And it's just not fun. So I just don't know what they did with NPC like aggro stuff, but it feels wrong.
So now that you're on story mode, is that better?
It's slightly better because I can take more damage, but it's still like the enemies are still acting the way they acted. It's like, gotcha. I think I can take more hit points essentially.
Okay.
So I'm still mad at it. And then the other really big thing I'm mad at is like all these overused missions that we've all done before. Go pick up the truck, drive the truck away, and if it gets blown up, start over.
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah.
So all those I'd never want to do in a game ever again. Not just Far Cry. Like I just don't want to do those. So there's just so many of those missions, escort missions, etc.
Did you notice that sometimes the checkpoints are too far apart?
How so?
Like if you fail one of these missions that has a fail state in it, one of the reasons I noped out or just stopped playing and didn't come back to it was I forget what mission it was. It was one of those like cookie cutter missions, and I somehow I think the guy went aggro on me or something, and I died, and it sent me back like. It felt like too far for me to play it again. I'm like, oh yeah. Like when you die, I want to be like literally 5 seconds before where I died. I don't want to be like 10 minutes back where I died. And I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not 10 minutes, but I got to a point of where I was like, okay, I don't want to be back this far, and I don't want to keep doing these bits over and over. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. And I think that, well, one, clicking on story mode helps a little bit because you have like a little more health.
Okay.
But I had this thing that just did last night, and I was so mad at it because it did what you said. There's there's so many dumb missions that basically like litter what could be a good game. But it's one of those ones where they turn on the gas, and you're slowly dying and you have to like find out how to turn the gas off.
Yes.
Fucking, we played it a million times. But there's like 4 valves. You have to turn every single one of them off while you're going through the smoke and dying.
Yep.
Anyways, that one I died on and it sent me back pretty far, and I was like, oh, that might be it for tonight. Because I don't want to go through that smoke again. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is definitely true. There's a checkpoint system wrong. These are a lot of cons. There's a lot to not like. Another thing I don't like is there's no skill tree in any way at all. So I like empowerment in these games. I like feeling like I got better. There's 2 things it does against that. One, it's all about gear. So kind of like Tales of Iron.
Yeah, the gear, the armor, the pants, like all the different pieces to your outfit, the gloves, yes.
They give you buffs. And if you have a set, which I hate sets in games, I never brought up, but I don't like sets, then you get an extra buff. Don't care. Like, I don't want to go around fucking crafting these little things. So I just take a hit, and again, I'm on story mode, so I take the damage. Fuck it. And I'm not having any fun with that. So that, I don't feel stronger. And on top of that, this is one of the worst things a video game can do.
Oh, man.
As you level up, you have a rank, and it like does something. I don't even know what it does. It does something for you. The enemies will level up.
Oh, they got the enemies that they scale with you. The scaling enemies.
And they don't all the time. It's like if you hit a certain number, it's like, oh, you just hit level 6. Hold on, look at the map, and it slowly, painstakingly shows you every little camp, and it going like 6 is now 9. 7 is now 10, and you're like, fuck you. But like, here's the thing: it doesn't even work in the world of the game because how did that happen? It's a tangent. How did the characters get stronger? Because they knew that you got stronger. Where were they? They didn't know what happened.
There was an email thread that went around. I don't know if you were CC'd on that.
It was an email?
Yeah, they just went it around.
Did you guys know that guy who's starting the Revolutionary War, he just got stronger? Oh yeah, tell Bob.
Up your game.
CC Jacob.
Everybody get out the better armor because Carlos has gotten stronger.
That makes me so mad. Just saying it on the podcast makes me mad.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't want games to be a cakewalk, but like I think there is some value in leveling up or getting better gear or somehow getting stronger and just like fucking steamrolling the dudes that were kicking you around an hour ago. Like that's fun. Like there's definite fun to like dealing payback out like that, and I don't want
I
that to be
know.
completely gone. Yeah.
And it's like slightly there because like last night, I have two more bits, then we're done with this review. But last night I went back to somewhere that was like level 4, right? And I was level 7, and I handled it pretty easily. And I was like, that's how it should feel. But then like all the new stuff, kind of like the things that are my next, story objectives, they're all upgraded now. So I'm like, fuck, even the ones that are, my story missions that would normally be a 2 or 3 are now matching me or above me. So I think that's stupid. And last thing I'll say that I don't like is the Anton Castillo guy. He is only in cutscenes for what? I'm in 15, 20 hours in this game. He's just cutscenes. So you're not ever fucking with him, right? He's just like, I'm also still evil. Look at me in my cutscene, and I'm untouchable. See ya. And then cutscene over, and then you're just fighting other dudes.
Just gotta remind you, he's still the big bad.
He's got to remind you, but I don't like that. So
yeah,
I would love to like actually impact the story with him a little more during the thing. And my final thing I'll say a pro is that even with all that said, it's such an addictive Far Cry world to go in, see emergent gameplay. My crocodiles go in and fucking, chomping on a person, explosions going off. I just took down a helicopter. I rescued 3 people, and now I get a cutscene where we're drinking beer or cerveza. It's very cathartic, and it is still a lot of fun. So there's a lot of fun to be had there. For me, I like the Latino vibe, and it's helping me there. But it's all full of flaws.
And you feel like this formula is nearing the end of its expiration.
It's ended. The expiration date is September, and it's October right now.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. They've followed a template for quite a while, with different variations. But I think they're all pretty much of a piece, which is, in some ways it's kind of good. I mean, some people like the comfort food of video games, and not every game needs to revolutionize the industry, but it seems to me the big criticism, like you've said already multiple times, is just like it's kind of just more of the same, and I think people are kind of ready for something different.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So there it is.
All right, there it is. That is Far Cry 6. Excellent. Thank you very much for your thoughts. And honestly, I think this is probably the end of the show. I think you had like maybe one quickie you wanted to mention, Carlos. You want to hit it, or you want to leave it for next time?
We'll do it real quickie.
Real quick.
And then next episode we have 2 or 3 more scary games, so we'll get more scary coming back.
Yes.
But before I go, just real quick, I played this like 3 weeks ago. I forgot about it. It's a Switch game, which again, who is this person playing Switch games?
It's not Carlos. I know that much.
Well, it is, and I'm playing Creepy Tale 2 and Beastbreaker, but I'm not playing this game, so I'll just mention it quickly. It's called Mind Cell.
Mind Cell, like M-I-N-D?
Yep.
Okay.
And I want to like it, and I guess I'm occasionally playing it because I want a third-person adventure game on my Switch, and I feel like I don't have many of those. And this is a third-person adventure that talks about it being kind of cyberpunky, which is what got me to check it out. I think there might be a demo. Maybe that's what I was playing. I can't remember. But basically, yeah, you're like, of course, amnesia, kind of a cybernetic person, and you're trying to escape this lab that you're in. And yeah, it's like combat, third-person based action game. And it's kind of fun, but I just realized I don't know if I can play third-person games on a Switch because, and I don't know how you do it, but the camera is the right analog stick. But on every other console that I have, they're aligned with each other. And on the Switch, they're offset.
The way that the sticks are actually placed on the controller.
And I can't do that. Like, do you
Really?
play many games with like a right analog as the camera on a Switch?
I mean, not many, because most of the stuff I play is 2D pixel. But I mean, I have played some, and I just, to me, the placement of the sticks is offset, but it's so minimal I don't even notice it.
Well, it's literally the opposite end of the Switch. Like I'm looking at it right now, and it's the top and the bottom of the console. So like, it doesn't. My brain freaks out by it. So that's what made me stop playing it. Really, I mean, like it's an okay game. It seems like a budget title, really basic, actiony, cybery kind of game, and I think people should check it out if it's cheap or a demo. But I actually stopped playing it because I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Interesting. No, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I mean, I could not tell you which button was ABXY if I had to choose between an Xbox controller or a Switch controller. I always get those labels mixed up, but actually using the controller, no problem. I mean, the sticks don't bother me, the buttons don't bother me. It's weird. It's weird that it's such an issue for you.
Well, to my point, you don't play many games, like you just said, on the Switch where it's like third person and you're using a camera.
I mean, yeah, not many, but I have done it. But yeah, I don't remember it being something that bothered me. But yeah, I mean, fair point, though.
It's not really speaking much to the game, so check it out yourself. I didn't really play it long enough to know, but I just thought I'd mention it because it's interesting, and I don't see many third-person like action-y kind of games on the Switch, so I was interested in it.
Yeah, not its strength, but yeah, there's not a ton of them on there. So
yeah.
All right, there we go, folks. That is a show. Thank you very much for listening, and thanks for deciding that we were worth the hour and 35 minutes or whatever it is that we did today. Thank you. Because you could have done something else. You could have read a book.
Yeah,
you could have watched a movie. You could have just walked outside. Who knows? So thank you for choosing to spend it with us.
And you should read books, by the way. Everybody read books. They're really good for you.
But not during our podcast.
No.
All right. That is it. As always, please send us your questions and comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com. We are on Twitter @SoVideoGames. We're also on TikTok. What is our address there, Carlos?
So Video Games Podcast.
So Video Games. I gotta write that down real quick.
By the way, that Cyberpunk clip that we put up is doing crazy now. Like, there's so many people checking it out. The number one by far or in a way viewed clip on TikTok for us is the Cyberpunk one. I forgot what we said in that. I don't even know what we said.
I don't even remember, but it's on there if you want to go track it down, if you want to TikTok track it down.
And there'll be new clips of this show up on there after this podcast goes up or right before.
Right on. Social media. Let's leverage it. Here we go. Other than that, you can hit us up individually. Carlos, do you want to pimp anything for you directly, or you want to just...
Yeah, @Carlos Rodella on TikTok.
All right. As for me, same as usual. It's my name, BradGallaway, all A's, no O's. And that is going to do it for episode 254. Thanks again for joining us here. And we'll see you next Friday. But in the meantime, this is bye from Brad.
And boo from Carlos.
Oh, I see what you did there. Spooky.
More spooky games next week.